Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, the God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red, I. How they want to see the day they can sell out Rasta and sell it out, I sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta, I sell out, I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. You might go and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, throw and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black? Big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
has Andrew Holness delivered on prosperity? And if he has, are you feeling it? This morning, we are going to look at some of the major issues bedeviling the Prime Minister this morning going into the general election, like governance and transparency, social issues, as well as a depleted economy. Good morning and welcome to Global TV. Thank you all for joining us. May I tell you, the sun turned up this morning, the heat and the humidity turned up this morning. It's like him come with him friend them. This morning, globally, it's really hot. I'm struggling to stop sweat. This morning, the weather really turned up this morning, but we're going to battle through and speak to power this morning as to whether power has delivered on its promises or power is just concerned about power and its pocket. We're talking about no other than Prime Minister Holness and how the people of Jamaica has become fatigued of corruption, nepotism, cronyism, and downright pilfering of public purse. We're going to look at a few things this morning. Me I tell you, I know, but there's a heat wave in Europe from last week, but Monday we got a bitter end of it, and this morning again, we get a bitter end of it because Wednesday and Thursday was warm as well, but the sun never out. There was a lot of rain on Wednesday. But this morning, the sun come with him friend, him family, and everybody when he can pick up, come and he says, see where. But I'm going to go there as soon as I finish, go enjoy him. Today is another no-close day. Monday, Jamaicans, Monday was a day where I only wear shorts and boxers to the park because it never makes sense to wear any top because you're just sweat just a pour so. And today is another day, is another bareback day today again. So we're going to enjoy. Can you see when you lock off? Hey, when it lock off, I done this. So to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to the labor rights. I gave it a name, you know. Me give it a name, but it slipped my head here now. When me remember it, me will ask on about it. Labor rights. Debbie Jarvis, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Sharon Bernard, good morning. Norman Ferguson, good morning. Joan Pine, good morning. Yvonne Riley, good morning. Good morning. Sophia Hall, Althea, Abina Sarkodi, Marcia Thomas, Sonia Johnson, Ladybug, Marcia Gale, Lawrence Michael, Miranda Roddock, Michael Baker, Marlene Williams, Suzette McIntosh, JC, Wagwan, bro, Jamaican Carlos TV, Wagwan, Beat and Teach, Wagwan, morning. Is it happy? Is it happy gory? Happy Corgi Puppy? Is that the correct pronunciation? Barbara Simpson, morning. Who else is here? Lynette Jenkins, MJC, good morning. Good morning, Yvonne Johnson, good morning. Lynette Jenkins, Judy Roberts, RJ, Verna Adams, Sunshine, Colin, good morning. TikTok, who is here? Insta Nanny, morning. AJ, Pearl, Lyndon, Nadine, George, user 2023, Kerry, Leeds Carnival King, Susan. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Has Andrew Holness delivered on prosperity? And if he has, are you feeling it? But we're going to look this morning at the major issues that bedeviling the Prime Minister going into a general election. Areas on which the Prime Minister has failed miserable. Dorothy Brown, good morning. But Dr. Puntas came out again, and Dr. Puntas is saying something which I'm going to pull him up on. He's talking about road safety. We're not going against safety, but we're going to remind the doctor. A call is being made for the political ombudsman to push for road safety measures during election campaign as part of effort to prevent crashes and fatalities. As we begin an active election season, I feel compelled to highlight the urgent need for greater accountability and coordination to ensure that campaign activities do not compromise public safety on our roads, said Vice Chair of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucien Jones, Dr. Puntas. Now, I don't have a problem in Dr. Puntas calling for road safety measures in this election campaign cycle. Roll back. This same doctor the other day came out and told us that dangerous drivers or reckless road users ought to be treated with the same urgency as criminals. Debbie Duncan, how are you? Leading me to ask the question, is Lucien Jones saying that we should turn the gun at reckless drivers? We don't know what Lucien means by that. But I don't know if Lucien Jones, who is he, them, they, she, he, her, the ombudsperson, the ombudsman that you're talking about. Who is that person, Dr. Lucien Jones, the ombudsman that you urge? Who or she, he, them, they? Because up until now, since Andrew Holness has destructed the office of the political ombudsman, we are no closer to knowing who is it that we ought to make such a complaint to, Dr. So-and-so. But the doctor have not seen the dangers on our roadway. As Vice Chair of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Puntas, you not see the danger with Darrell Vaz and Andrew Holness carry out Power Road, sir? Sophie Turrell, morning. You not see the greatest danger on our roadway right now, Dr. Puntas, is the gyrating thing them where we'll fly off here, so we'll fly off there, so them are broke down there, so they can't go uphill there, so them are buck up in a vehicle there, so that is the greatest danger on our roadway right now, Dr. Lucien Jones. Who is it that we ought to complain to? The she, them, they, her. Who is it? Who is that somebody? Because we don't know. And if we don't know, it don't make no sense we complain because we are complaining to thin air. Or are you saying we should complain to the Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Holness, Prime Minister, who destructed the office and found that we are nowhere closer to know what is going on with the office? But Dr. Lucien Jones, you don't see the danger by the big old yellow gyrating sit down in a sun for how much a year, park in a redundant trailer park by the Americans, refuse to put on the road and put them picnic in danger. Dr. Joe, this is what you need to ask the Jamaica Labour Party, because these buses what the Jamaica Labour Party is pushing around the country with. They are the danger to our roadway, Dr. Jones. How come you don't see that? How come Dr. Jones, Dr. Puntas, don't see the biggest danger to our roadway right now? Of course, I have no problem, and I support Dr. Puntas calling for safe road use during the election campaign. But Dr. Jones, not with the big old yellow American broadback look like crocodile front bus. Not with that. Not with that. Those are the danger on our roadways right now. Or you are not seeing all the videos going around. Elaine Turner morning, Keith Matthews, welcome. How do you do? Sunshine. Who else have I seen? Did I see Daphne Jackson earlier? Willie Dunn, Annie Jones, Dorothy Brown, Miranda Ruddock. In my opinion, based on the evidence we've seen across the country with the Jamaica Labour Party movement of these buses around the country, they are a danger on our roadway, Dr. Jones. So as Vice Chair of the National Road Safety Council, I would have expected you to factor that in to you calling for safe road use. We already have a terrible roadway, and we already have accidents and fatality. But what Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz brought us are going to provide us more of that. And that is what I would like Dr. Jones to focus on. The big yellow bus. Ask the JLP to take the big yellow gyrating bus off of the road. Last time you know how you do. Take the big yellow gyrating bus off the road. And if you know, can you write another letter to the Gleaner advising the people of Jamaica, Campbell, how you do? Who is the somebody? You would have known, Dr. Jones, how confused the nation is on the issue of the political ombudsman since the office was disrupted by the Prime Minister and been drafted into the Prime Minister's office. Are you saying we should complain to those who bring the big old gyrating yellow bus them in our country? Because the ombudsman in the Prime Minister's office, as far as we don't know if I saw it go or it go one different way, but as far as we know, the ombudsman in the Prime Minister office, we don't know if it's a person or an office. We don't know anything. Since the Prime Minister took that legislation to Parliament in the dead of night, we know nothing. So maybe you can help us, Dr. Jones, because you are one that is connected in the ruling class or the upper echelon class or the titled or the certified class of our society, Dr. Jones. Help us now. Help we. You know, sister, we in a dark. You see we in a dark and you point to, we can't see your hand and we can't see where you point to. Does that make sense, Dr. Jones? We in the dark and you point to it. We can't see your hand and we can't see where you point. So what we figure? We don't stop treating we like fool, man. Stop treating us like we're fools. And speak actual truth to power. Tell the Prime Minister and the Minister of Transport there's enough and overwhelming evidence that these buses are not safe for our roadways How much time we fix it so? Or how much time the wheel them fly off, tire blow out, them broke down a road, can't go uphill, knock up in a people, drive in at the middle of the little road them what we have with the bus them almost them back almost bigger than we road. Dr. Jones, you know see that? So the bus them with Andrew and Darrell carrying in the country, them back bigger than we roadway. You don't see the danger in that. And then same thing there, Dr. Jones, we want you to talk about. And stop pointing us in the dark and expect us to find a way or to see a finger. I am fed up of these titled people come out and speak in gibberish. Then again, a whole heap of people just speak because they get paid to speak. You know, speak because they might give them problem like me. Lenford Williams. They don't speak because they might give them problem like me. Them speak because them get paid to speak. That's why Dr. Lucian Jones and Dr. Nadine Crensom, what's your name again? Nadine Spence. That's why these people with these so-called titled can come out and just speak gibberish because they are paid to speak. We don't get paid to listen. You understand? We don't get paid to listen. Arlene Scott, morning. That's what it appears, Ladybug. Everybody afraid of Andrew Holness in this country. And you have to buy a baby Andrew Holness. Everybody think that we must wrap Andrew Holness in cotton wool and buy him and hush him and make sure say him not get bruised. Make sure that the Prime Minister don't get bruised. What are some of the big issues affecting the Prime Minister going into the general election? Just look at the social issues, Prime Minister. And we are going to look at the top concern for the people of Jamaica. Crime and violence, Prime Minister. That continues to cripple our country, regardless, Andrew Holness, regardless of the everyday you draw out police in a sunlight because you can't go in at the rickety, tickety, balmy army police stations. So you draw them out under the glare of the sun. And you make them salute and tell you, yes, sir. No, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Crime is down, sir. And it is done by this, sir. That doesn't make the nation feel say crime down, Andrew Holness. You, Merle, how you do? You get up every week and put out a new statistics and massaging the figure. The nation is not feeling that. Crime is still a top concern for the people, Andrew Holness. Remember, Prime Minister, it was you who made that bold promise on crime. We will make sure you sleep with your doors and window open. This is how robust of a promise the Prime Minister make in his fight against crime. But has Andrew Holness really provided or implemented the policies to assist him in his crime fighting with his loudmouth funding? Because the funding, Prime Minister, the police station they were in still a falling. You could have given them all sorts of regalias and equipment. Their working condition, Prime Minister, they have no moral to do the job that they're barely paid to do, the job that they have to extort us in order to make ends meet. But because this Prime Minister has not furnished us with a crime policy, Joan Bailey, what this Prime Minister done in his small-minded crime fighting is trample up on your fundamental rights as declared by the courts. Sexy K, PMP, how you do? The Prime Minister's crime fighting policy is a plethora of state of emergency and zones of operation, special zones, or whatever they call them, ZOZO and SOEs. That is all it is. As we are aware that the court has now ruled that they were a violation of our fundamental rights. That was the Prime Minister's crime policy. How then, when crime escalate under the Andrew Holness regime from 2016 to 2024, and all of a sudden, end of 2024 into 2025, crime just a good on, so good on, so good on. When? What happened, Prime Minister? What happened? Because we don't see you come with no policy nor anything of a crime fighting mechanism other, Prime Minister, than ordered the wanton killing, the wanton extrajudicial killing of young men across the country. That's how the Prime Minister brings down crime in his word. By ordering wanton extrajudicial killing of young men across the country. The Prime Minister and the Jamaica Constabulary Force deemed you to be a criminal and they just shot you down on the street. And we would know, we would not have the chance to know whether that person was a criminal or not. The Prime Minister, in the extrajudicial killing under this government, the investigators who investigate the JCF wanton killing, Indicom, they are asking the government to implement body-worn cameras. Other civil society groups are asking for the same thing in order. So when we have these police shootings, these police killings, there can be evidence as to whether the police actually enforces the law properly at the time, or is it just reckless application of the law because the police has a gun in their hand and a uniform power with an order given by the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security. Anti-crime fighting strategy doesn't include a lot of taking people in front of the courts. Anti-wholeness crime fighting is about killing Jamaicans without giving us, the people, the chance to know if that person was innocent or guilty. So this is a major issue bedeviling the Prime Minister going into a general election, because no amount of lies, no amount of massaging the figures, no amount of that, Prime Minister, is going to make us, the people of Jamaica, feel any safer. What about these guns that you keep finding? Is Dr. Chang taking these guns back to the communities as Dr. Chang regularly does, Prime Minister? So what will Andrew Holness come to tell us now when it comes to crime fighting and how he's going to fight crime and deliver on his crime plan. You see how difficult it is for the prime minister after failing 2 terms. After failing 2 terms. Globally, so I'm afraid to hit the like button, so hit the like button, man. After 2 terms, after 2 failed manifesto, all this government is going to come back with is a massage crime figure. You have not taken down crime. It's not the experience of the people of Jamaica. Go around killing young men, and we don't know or have no evidence to prove that they are criminals. We've seen the actions of the Jamaica Constabulary Force on camera. We regularly see the actions of the Jamaica Constabulary Force on camera. So we can't just listen to anything them say and take it as gospel. We just can't do that. And this is why civil society in the come, and a lot of people are calling for the body-worn cameras. If the Prime Minister is serious about crime fighting, why is there such a massive pushback on the Jamaica Constabulary Force being held accountable for their actions? That should be a part of your crime fighting, Andrew Holness, because until we see evidence, there's not going to be trust between us and the police. You're not going to get that. But there's just simple won't be any trust, any level of trust between us and the police. You understand? So going around shooting down people picnic, don't tell we that they're criminals. Because you don't provide us no evidence. All you do, you provide us a dead body. A dead body is not evidence that a person is criminal. A police shooting you down in the street and say that you're a criminal does not make you a criminal. Because otherwise, Andrew Holness would be shot, Babs Grade would be shot, Horace Chong would be shot, Darrell Vaz would be shot, Bobby Montague. You see how much of you all would be shot? If it is that, that's evidence that you're a criminal. You see how much of you all could be shot? So, crime and violence is one of the big issues bedeviling the Prime Minister going into the general election. And we will not let go of the Prime Minister's failure and non-delivery of that promise of sleeping with your windows and your door open. Mr. T, how you do? Now, what else is bedeviling Andrew going into the election? Economic issues. Economic issues. This economy which is being rammed down our throat every day, that the economy is in the best shape as it is. It has never been in a better shape before. But amidst that, high cost of living is second to crime on the agenda of the Jamaican people. Now, this government who tells us that they have not implemented any new taxes, they have raised the minimum wage twice. But was it raised in line with inflation, Prime Minister? Eugene Brown, how you do? Sandra Riley, how you do? Was it raised in line with inflation, Prime Minister? Is a question. Shelton Williams, Rosemary Samuels, that we need to ask ourselves. The high cost of living with electricity prices, Prime Minister. That was one of your promise, 2015 and 2020, wasn't it? You've promised twice on cheaper electricity for the people of Jamaica. You have not delivered on that. But let's look at the crisis of cost of living in our country. People literally can't buy food anymore, Prime Minister. Under your promise of prosperity, we have actually gone backwards in the food basket, Dunmel. We have actually gone backwards in our dietary requirements, Leon McIntyre, good morning. We have actually gone backwards in our dietary requirement because we simply cannot afford it, Prime Minister. We simply cannot afford the cost of living that is bedeviling us. The high food price, the high electricity prices, Prime Minister. The lack of water resources under this government, even though we are paying the National Water Commission for the empty pipe them. We literally cough like a smoking man. We are paying for them. And we're not getting water out of them. We have to buy water, we have to buy a black tank, pump for the black tank. We have to buy water to fill up the black tank, and we have to buy water to drink. All these things, Prime Minister, tied into the cost of living. All these things were a part of the prosperity promise that we were expecting you or thought you would have alleviated these things for Jamaicans. But Prime Minister, we get deeper in a shit. Under your government, whereby fish back, under your government, chicken back become nationalized again. Ton Camille and chicken back on a dog food again in the Prime Minister. Sunday dinner, under your government, Andrew Holness. Ton Camille and chicken back, which was dog food for many years in Jamaica. So you couldn't tell nobody say you name Ton Camille and chicken back, and them not tell you say a dog food you name. Chicken back has become the national Sunday dinner dish again. And everybody can afford chicken. And everybody can buy fish in our country. So under your government, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, under your prosperity, fish back become a thing, Prime Minister. Something we never have under any other government that this present generation is aware of. We were never aware of fishback, Prime Minister. Your government brought us something new. Your prosperity program, Andrew Holness, brought us something new. It brought us fishback. It brought us green bun, Prime Minister. It brought us 5-year-old chicken at the size of just born chicken. It brings us $2,000 to sell our vote. It brings us $20,000 in tax return and solidarity program. All a vote buying chick. Because the reason for the tax return, the reason for the solidarity program is giving a piece of the prosperity to $20,000 worth of prosperity, Prime Minister. $20,000 worth of prosperity after 9 years. And a $20,000 a year, $20,000 $20,000 $20,000 for the whole 9 years of the prosperity we you promised. with fish back, chicken back, and shitty water, may I add. That's the prosperity that Andrew Holness has delivered to Jamaica. Shitty water from town to country, fish back island wide. And Jamaica is in a food security. After agriculture, which could produce to enhance the prosperity what the Prime Minister talked about, or to help deliver the prosperity what the Prime Minister talked about. That's the era where Flight Green and Andrew Holness destructed. Them destruct our farmers. Them destruct our water irrigation that supports our farm. And then they hand over import license to James Robertson. And James Robertson decide what we eat in Jamaica and at what price. James Robertson decide what ground provision we eat and at what price. Dr. Minister of Education said the PMP copied the manifesto from AI. Ms. Kamina said it's copied from the JLP. Even if them copied it from somewhere, these are progressive policies that Jamaica requires to move forward. Them are for them manifesto. Andrew Holness, all you need for you, don't criticize the PNP manifesto. Show us, the people, how you have delivered on 2 manifestos. Show the people the delivery of your 2 manifestos, Prime Minister. Don't worry about Mr. Golden manifesto. Another thing me you know talk about labor rights. Oh, where's Mark Golden gonna get money for his money to implement? Same place where Andrew thief it from. The same piggy bank them where Andrew raid and stuff up him pocket, him gut, him friends and him family and him cronies and the other 48 thief. That's the same place where Mark Golden I go get the money from for service in manifesto pledge. So when you hear labor right talk about money, don't fart pan them. Anywhere them the same money the same place wanna drill and a thief the money from over the last 9 years, the same place where Andrew steal public resources from in the last 20 years. Same place Mark Golden I will get the money for run in manifesto, for implement in manifesto pledge. So don't worry about them. Worry about what you all have not delivered on labor rights. Have you delivered on prosperity? The Prime Minister create a Department of Economic Growth and Job Creation, where the Prime Minister take the entire country and put under the Office of Economic Growth and Job Creation. What has that office produced, Prime Minister? What has that office produced? That ministry, it's responsible for roads, it's responsible for water, it's responsible for housing, Prime Minister. Have you seen the debacle of all those 3 areas mentioned? You take the entire country, put under your arm. Look at it now. You're a Prime Minister that rather than buying tractors and bulldozers like Abraham Chore for farmers, you buy jacars, Prime Minister. That's the prosperity you brought to us as a people. That's how well you did on the economy. One of the biggest concerns, Prime Minister, right now for the people of Jamaica is water. The dry pipe them, Prime Minister. The dry pipe. The dry pipe them, what we are pay for, mind you, is one of the major concerns for the people of Jamaica. We can't bathe, we can't cook, and if we don't have money, drive the water, kill it. That's the position that Jamaica people has been left into under your government, Prime Minister. God bless who live near a river or a stream. And Andrew walk and shit in all our river and stream them in the country. What have you delivered in your promise of prosperity, Prime Minister? What have you delivered? Because we don't get the housing that you promised us. You took the money from the National Housing Trust and you lent it to your friend and you outbuild us. We can't afford the luxury apartment them where you use National Housing Trust money bill because you were not billing for poor people. Who the National Housing Trust money was to build for. To build for poor people. You take and change into something totally different. The corruption, Prime Minister, the persistent corruption that bedevils your government held back your prosperity program. The 50 million from Education Department by Royal Reid and others, the 124 million by Grace McLean and Marlon Morgan. Prime Minister, the fraud and corruption at Petrojam. All of those things have held back your prosperity program because these are money that could have put into project. These are money that could put into the development of the infrastructure, such as water, irrigation, and distribution, or the maintenance of our roadways. You are your biggest failure, Andrew Holness. You are your biggest piece of failure. Murder. The major Dolores Award. The major bedevilment. The number one that bedevils the Andrew Holness going into the general election. Government transparency and accountability. Something that the Prime Minister will not be able to stand up to. We all know that the Prime Minister is locked in front of the courts in an integrity battle. But before we even go to the Prime Minister's integrity, the governance issue, let's look at the constitutional review. His own constitutional review that the Prime Minister launches. He was the one who killed it dead in the water, you know. The Prime Minister was the one who killed his own constitutional review. Because what the Prime Minister does is refuse to take into account sectors of the Jamaican society or things that are of a concern to the Jamaican people. The Prime Minister don't want to deal with issues like those. And it's because of the Prime Minister's lack of negotiation and compromise with the opposition why the Prime Minister constitutional reform was killed in the water. He was the one who killed it because on the issue that Mr. Golden wants to negotiate, like issues of the Rastafarian community, the Maroon community, the diaspora, the final court, and such alike, These are all things that the Prime Minister refused to even debate on, compromise on, or to even listen to the people of Jamaica. So, on the issue of governance, the Prime Minister is the one who stood in his way of not having his constitutional review even make it to pass phase one. What the Prime Minister did, rather than seek to have that negotiation, the Prime Minister went off on a birtherist attack against Mr. Golden. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back shortly.
Justice! Justice! Justice!
There's something are sticking in
I
my
am calling on the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness. Please find the murderer of the late Member of Parliament, Dr. Linville Bloomfield. Justice for Doc. Justice. Power. Say power. Power. Selector, drop a tune. Say power.
I see them lying their way.
Say power.
Standing on the gate.
Say power.
But yeah, I want my
Say
own
justice. Say justice. Justice.
Murderer.
Justice.
Gun is on your shoulder.
Justice.
Lie today, you cannot kill
Justice.
tomorrow. Murder.
Justice.
I must see Allah.
Justice.
Allow the sin to take the life
Justice.
of another.
Justice.
Gun upon your shoulder.
Justice.
Kill me today, you cannot kill
Justice.
me tomorrow.
Justice.
Your inside must see Allah.
Esau.
Thank you very much and welcome back. Continue on with the Prime Minister issue of governance. As we say, it's this very same Prime Minister who allowed his constitutional review to fail. But let's look at other issues like the Office of the Political Ombudsman and the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. These are separate and independent offices. Andrew Holness has taken the Electoral Commission into his office. Andrew Holness has subsumed the Political Ombudsman into the Electoral Commission, confusing the nation. Veteran Wagwan, bro, you cool? Confusing the nation, mumbo jumbo up governance and everything that we understand them to be. These are some of the issues, run one, let's how you do, that will be bedeviling the Prime Minister going into the general election. When it comes to transparency, there is absolutely none under this government. None whatsoever. It's always a constant pushback by this government. And one of the prime example was before last year local government election. There were two reports that should have been tabled. Those two reports to do with Nigel Clark. You know, those reports that we find out about the empty building that we're paying millions to Norman Dunn for. Those reports should have been tabled before the local government election. But because of the lack of transparency of this government, the report was being held onto. Almost wants to bury the report until Mark Golden spoke about it in his budget presentation last March, and all hell broke loose, which that also led to the demise of Valerie Curtis. Roll back to the Dalrymple Filbert when we found out that Dalrymple Filbert was scamming the nation's purse, the Prime Minister removed Dalrymple in order to entrench his wife on the high seat, in order to avoid transparency. There has been a lot of things that Juliet Holness tried to chop and change. Even the advice, even when she lied that the Attorney General advice supports what she's doing. And all that was a lie, because the Attorney General advice did not support her. These are all the issues of transparency bedeviling Andrew Holness going into the general election. The spending of public money, like the drill and the buses, all these fall under transparency. It's our money, our taxpayer money. We ought to know. And you see the big fight. As soon as you raise issues of transparency, you get a lawsuit. It is how this government operates. As soon as you try to hold this government accountable, you end up with a lawsuit. So we look at governance and we look at transparency, integrity. Roy, good morning. Integrity. That ingredient, the binding ingredient, is lacking, Prime Minister, from the works. Integrity, Prime Minister. That's the binding, that's the ingredient that bind you together. But because you don't have any of that at all, it is one of the major hammer beating over your head for years, particularly though, Prime Minister, since the local government, since the tabling of your uncertified statutory declaration on the 17th of September last year. Prime Minister Van Den, you can't rest in a peace. You can't sleep at night, so you don't jump up. Because when it comes to integrity, you have lost. You're the government that failed to sign up to the Nolan principles of good governance, an internationally accepted principle, Prime Minister. You and your entire team has failed to sign on the dotted line to say, I will not be a corrupt politician. I will not steal from the public purse. You and your whole crew, Prime Minister, is refusing to make that promise to the nation that I will not steal your resources. I will not pocket your resources and run off with it. You, Prime Minister, is leading a flock that you have directed not to give the people of Jamaica that assurance. That means on a comfort thief. No, Andrew Holness, on a comfort thief, because on a can't reassure we say, we're not going to leave with money alone. It is why, Prime Minister, you end up into this big, disgraceful debacle with the Integrity Commission, where you're in front of the court because of your uncertified statutory declaration. Not only that, though, Prime Minister, the scrutiny of your financial dealings, which you cannot present any proof to the nation that your financial dealings are legal and credible. We've never had before a Prime Minister locked in a legal battle with the integrity body of the country. We've never had before a sitting Prime Minister trying to struck out a legislation have a legislation declared unconstitutional. We've never had that. We've never had a prime minister going after the legal frameworks of our country. We've never had that. Andrew Holness has brought us many new things, though none of them are nothing good, but it brings us many new things. Because everything for Andrew Holness is personal. Everything for Andrew Holness is personal. The minute you scrutinize anything of this government, you're targeting Andrew Holness. We're bad mind. We're PNP. We're propagandists. Corruption, Prime Minister. The corruption has held you back. The corruption has allowed your government to be the most corrupt in our country. The nation cannot continue like this. The nation cannot accept another promise from Andrew Holness when Andrew Holness has not delivered on 2 previous promises. You know, so we fool Prime Minister, but good God Almighty, you don't expect us to wake up at some point. Don't you expect us to wake up at some point and want better? We want to make it out of the ghetto like you and Juliet and your sons. We want our children to grow in prosperity. We want our children to be able to go to the best universities abroad. We want to be able to buy a house abroad so our children don't have to go into student accommodation institution, Prime Minister. Opal Watson, how you do? We want to do all those things. You think, by the way, you're going through the public purse, Prime Minister, chopping and changing, or allowing the crooks that you surround yourself with to pilfer from the public purse. You think we'll be able to give our children anything of such? Or all our way at PNP, we just have poor mentality? Because it's what you said. You, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, it was you remind us that you don't like poor people, you don't like people. It's you that said it.
Every person wants to build a home for themselves and their family. I come from England, and we were saying
There's a
an
glitch
Englishman's home is his
in this
castle.
morning.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
I don't know what the big to do is about. The casting of aspersions and innuendos. It's typical of the PNP. It's the PNP mentality. It is a crab in the barrel mentality. Again, it's the poor mentality. We can't all be rich, so we all should be poor. It is.
What about we can't all be rich, but we can become honestly poor, Prime Minister? Because you never become rich by being honest. Where's the hard work? You said you've worked hard. Where is it? When did you do it?
It's the socialist mentality. It is the grudgeful and bad mind mentality. That's what it is. It is, and the people, I tell you the honest truth about this thing. People who are criticizing me for building a house don't know that I literally build. And I've been building now for 4 years. I think what it shows is a capacity to do things and do them well, to think big and build big. I hate people talking about people who work hard, who have never worked hard themselves, who have never one day put one block on top of another and built anything. Right? Yeah, you can love everybody, but at the end of the day, you can't eat love. Right? And
this Prime Minister who told us in 2015, 15, that we cannot eat love. It's the same Prime Minister that tells us in 2024 that good economic management can yam. Good economic management with a country in recession, with a country with high cost of living, with a country with high inflation and low wages, a country where junior doctors, teachers, police can't get paid. This Prime Minister told us good economic management can yam. The Prime Minister said love can yam. Only good economic management.
You can't live in it.
Bruh.
People have to be able to execute, build, construct, create.
When we chose you, Prime Minister, that was exactly what we chose you to do with the NHT money. Not to give it 650 million of it to Dexim in order to enrich yourself and them. I wonder if Andrew Holness or Juliet Holness bought any of the luxury flats, any of the luxury apartment that Dexim used. NHT contributed 650 million to enrich themselves and create generational wealth for themselves. Your contribution, Jamaica, your NHT contribution was given to the friends of Andrew Holness to create generational wealth for themselves. And you, the people of Jamaica, you, the contributors of the National Housing Trust, you're nowhere to be able to afford the high-end housing. You have not delivered an housing, Prime Minister, but you've wasted the National Housing Trust money.
Be industrious. These are also important matters. And what I find is that we run around saying, oh, we love, we love, we love. At the end of the day, you don't create anything. You don't own anything. You never built anything. You never transformed anything. And I think that's what the voters have to contend with.
What have you transformed is the question. In 9 years, Andrew Holness, let me tell you what you have transformed. You have transformed our education to the worst state it could have ever been in. You have transformed our National Health Service to the worst it could have ever been. You have transformed our roadways, Prime Minister, to the point where people are dying in potholes of water on our roadway, Prime Minister. You have transformed Jamaica to the Wasara. You have depleted the country's resources, Prime Minister. If this economy grows, we and the lower end of the scale did not feel it, because Uno up there chop it off before it even get down to us. I know you did turn up in a St. Thomas and tell us because we fix the big economy, we're going to start fix your little economy now, your road and your water, because you hold your hand high when you talk about the big economy, and when you talk about you bring your hand down. We are still waiting. Will it come in another promise again, Prime Minister? Robert Honeywell, morning. Is it going to be another failed promise again? When you go to the poll, these are the questions you should ask yourself. Am I better off under Andrew Holness's 9 years? Has Andrew Holness delivered on his promises? Can I trust Andrew Holness to continue with leadership of our country? Is Andrew Holness the better choice to lead our country? These are the questions you must ask yourself. Is my children safe under the Andrew Holness regime? Those are some of the questions that you need to ask yourselves. If you choose Andrew Holness, you're going to have to live with it. And maybe for a very long time. Because we have seen the dictatorial tendencies of this prime minister. We have seen how many times this prime minister attacked our constitutional, democratic, and fundamental rights. This prime minister attacked the legislative process in our country. It's by way of how this prime minister destructed things like the office of the political ombudsman and others. There's no progression in Andrew Holness. If there was, we would have seen something in 9 years. Even labor rights themselves are struggling to defend the prime minister. They will tell you that the prime minister have done a lot of good. They'll tell you he's the best prime minister. How though? On what? That is what they cannot explain. You, the people of Jamaica, you who will be going to the poll, you are the ones who ought to assess crime, cost of living, water, roads, jobs. Is Andrew Holness a government that will protect your rights? Is Andrew Holness the government that you would trust with your safety? Remember COVID? Remember how Andrew Holness punished the people of Jamaica? How Andrew Holness locked down the people of Jamaica and imposed strict rules on them and high cost fines on them? While all that didn't apply to them, it was the same Andrew Holness who opened up the country, surging the virus, killing many Jamaicans, and then turn around to blame you poor people. That is, poor people spread the virus. You must remember that when you go to the poll, that poor people spread virus in our country. It is because of poor people why so much of us died in COVID. You must remember that when you go to the poll. It's not me who said it, it's the Prime Minister. It's the Prime Minister who said it. The same Prime Minister who asked you to go out on the road and campaign in order to give him power through political expedience. That same Prime Minister turn around and blame you, the people of Jamaica. That was the time that Andrew Holness got the chance to become a proper dictator. Would you want to deal with Andrew Holness in another global pandemic? Would you want Andrew Holness to be making the rules for you in another global pandemic? Would you want Andrew Holness to be collecting the donations for you from international donors in a new pandemic? Jamaicans, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Vote in interest of your children. Vote for better. Not better for politicians, better for yourself, your community, your family. We must do right. We must get it right this time. Of course, we know we're not going to get rid of the tribal politics. But those of us who can look beyond the tribal of politics, let us get it right. The world is changing. The power structure of the world is changing. And what does not sit well with me is that our Jamaican people are not getting into the groove of the changes of power structure in this world. We need to participate more in power. We hold the key to power. Because of our lack of participation, it is why crooks and criminals like the Jamaica Labour Party, led by the most dishonorable criminal, Andrew Holness, this is why they get away with so much. Because we are not participating enough. We think that these people own our lives and our country. Jamaicans, get up and make your voice and your vote be heard. The right to vote is a sacred one that blood was shed for, one that people died for in order for us to have that right. Utilize it and protect it. Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, how you do? You come when we just a wind down. If you done, Andre. Don't give your children's future away. You gave your children's future to 49 JLP politicians. What did you get back in return? 110 old buses, the tune of $1.4 billion that will only put your children in danger, that will only cause death, chaos, and mayhem on our roadways, as we can already see the evidence of them going across the country. We have been fooled by Andrew Holness twice. Do not, Jamaicans, do not again be fooled by Andrew Holness. Thank you very much. This was the fatigue of the Holnesses. Thank you for being here with us this morning. Join us back this evening when we will continue to look at the worst government we've ever had in our history. The worst government we've ever had in our history. If you're new to the program, please give us a follow. So when we go live, you certainly will get our notification. Whether you are on YouTube or TikTok, make sure you give us a subscription or a follow. And if you have not hit the like button yet, YouTube, please hit the like button. What you expect? We are all fools. This time we can't stop being fooled, Imar. Oh my God. This time you can still, with this time we can't stop out of the foolishness, because unlike any other elections we've ever had in our country, this one is where people are being informed the most. It's the first we're going into a general election cycle with so much information, with so much access to information, where it's not just the Gleaner and RGR pumping bullshit down with ears or burying or hiding a story. The whole purpose of a lot of us, or all of us vloggers out here, is to keep the public informed, to hold government to account, because we see the mainstream media drop off of the bandwagon, or they have been bought out and controlled by the system. So we have enough information where we can look into ourselves and do things in our interest. For too long, for way, way too long, all that we do is in the interest of politicians. All that we do is care about giving power to our side, whether it be JLP or PNP? When are we going to do something for ourselves, Jamaica? No other time is better than the present opportunity. Use it wisely. Make the right choice at the poll. We have been sorry about the choice we made 9 years ago and 5 years ago. Are you going to make the same mistake again? Thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV. Thanks for having your support. Please do join us back tonight for the people's point of view. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon.
Justice! On your justice! Justice! I am calling on the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness. Please find the murderer of the late Member of Parliament, Dr. Linville Bloomfield. Justice for Doc! Justice! Power! Say power! Power! Selector, drop a tune. Say power! I see them lying there waiting. Say power! Standing on the game. Say power! But yeah, I want my say justice! Say justice! 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 On your shoulder. Justice! 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 Esau.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.